is the beginning of something revolutionary.
Standing in line to see the show tonight, and there's a light on, heavy glow. By the way, I tried to say I'll be there, waiting for.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Youth in Power podcast, ran by the Anderson Munger delegates, the unofficial official YNG podcast. Today, I have my co-host Sophia Hayes here, and we are
Hey
super
guys.
excited to interview one of our guests, Ashton Adibi from the Pali Mali YMCA. Ashton is running to be our 78th youth governor, and we're grateful to have him on the show today to talk a little bit about his platform, what he does outside of YNG, and his YNG experiences. So now with that, let me start off with our first question. Ashton, can you teach us your delegation callback?
So my callback is Lades. You just throw up the L, and it's like basically
It's
like
one of my favorite ones, I need to say. It's a
yeah,
good callback.
like basically like a mixture of like the L in Palisades, and like the ending of it. So we just say like Lades. At first, I'm gonna be honest, when I was in like ninth grade, I never even knew what a callback was, and I thought they were saying Lay's, like the chips. And then like then I realized like okay, like this is like a serious thing, and everyone started to pronounce like a D, and then I realized like, oh, Lades like Palisades. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's super iconic too because it's like super like laid back. You guys just say like Lades,
Yeah.
kind of like
I also did the same thing with my delegation callback. I did not know that they were saying Amy. I was just like, I don't know what they're saying. And eventually I got it, but I didn't know what they were saying at first either. And then I understood that it was just the logo.
yeah. And then with our next question.
Okay, next question. So what's your favorite part about being in the Palisades delegation? Like what's like something that you feel stands out for you?
Being in the Palisades delegation, my favorite part. Okay, so number one, I do like that it's like more like in like a school way. So we meet at our school and not at the Palisades YMCA. So it's way easier for us to like promote through like our school, and like our school like could have like the speaker play or like flyers saying it instead of like just, oh, people just come to the YMCA. And I think Collins and Katz does that too, with like they're right next to uni, so that's how they get like a diverse group of people, and it's not just like the same people that show up to YMCA every day. It's like you have like an entire high school, and you can meet more people, and it's not just like the cliques that, oh, you want to go to this YMCA thing, or like you just see them every single day.
Yeah, that's actually the same with our delegate, similar to our delegation. We don't have our meetings at like our high school, Larchmont Charter School, but like I would say like 75% of our delegates are from Larchmont. So we already have like a
It's like
bond.
90%.
90%, yeah, maybe 90%. But
I think we have like maybe 5 delegates that don't go to Larchmont.
yeah,
Wow.
we still have like some delegates from the community, and we're also trying to work on that too, advertising to the community around here because it's a great
Yeah.
opportunity. But yeah, most of our kids are from Larchmont Charter School.
Mm.
And then with this next question, you're probably asked this a lot, but what made you interested in running for youth governor as like opposed to like another role?
Okay, so honestly, I applied for Youth Gov because I was in California Investment Bank last year for my program year. This year I'm in Ledge House, but like it was like very tricky for like us to like say our opinions about like a bill. So my bill, we wanted to like do like housing for homeless or something like that. But then since like it was only like the group leader of like 5 people could talk, it was kind of like hard. Like and I was on the authority board. So basically, if you're on the authority board, you gotta choose like which bills pass. Like I kind of didn't like that because that means that 5 people out of like there's probably like 60 or 70 delegates that have like an opinion on a bill. Only 5 of them get to choose like out of like a majority rules way of doing it. So it like kind of killed me because like not every single person in that program area had the opportunity to like speak up and give like their point of view on like what what could maybe change California. Like I always go back to how YNG was the program that got like bills passed for people have to wear like helmets whenever they bike. So like I like kind of found like okay, like maybe a lot of people share their opinions about that. So what if you like it could be either you, Devin, or you, Sophia. What if you were the person that was the one that said that bill? And then if you relate that to like maybe California Investment Bank, like why is it only like just five people? And a lot of like Ledge House, they have like some people, but I wish there was like more representation because obviously there's way more opinions than like we could see. And yeah, it's just like I rather get more opinions from other people than just to say like just to put my foot down and say, okay, no, you know what? I think I'm right and like I there's like five other people that I think are smart that also think I'm right. Like maybe if we got the voice of 60 other people, then maybe you would have a better chance of being that person that would pass that next bill, just like the helmet bill.
Yeah, I actually really love that part of your campaign because it's centralized around the idea of like the delegate voice, right? And I
Mhm.
like how you're trying to like empower everybody else and have that feeling that they like contributed to like some policy, right? And having like their own moment up there on the stage where they could just like you were saying, like give their piece and like say what they wanted to say and feel like fully engaged in like this like civic engagement program that we're all in. Just more empowering, right?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, your next question. Are there any other roles that you have held in Youth and Gov on like a statewide or a delegation level?
Okay, so my past YNG experience, it actually began in seventh grade. I was in Model UN with not Pally, but Collins and Katz because I moved. And then once I got to high school, I joined Pally YMCA and I applied to be the form clerk. But sadly, I didn't get elected, but someone else from my delegation got elected. And then towards the
Mm.
end, I'm like, okay, like I feel like I have the op like I should use my opportunity to my advantage to apply to another role. So I applied to be the chaplain of my delegation because like I realized that I actually like talking in front of people and it like
Hey.
yeah, like I whenever we were behind the curtains um before giving the speeches at Bob and like at the backstage, like I was just like smiling. I didn't like I didn't feel that stressed because I'm like I applied for this job, right? So then I won chaplain in ninth grade, and then during that position, I applied to be the authority board, as I said, for California Investment Bank. And then
Mhm.
now it's a new challenge to be the 78th youth governor.
Hey, you've reached the final boss now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Final level.
And then with with my next question here, you brought up California Investment Bank. You were in that program last year, you said, or
Yeah.
yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about like what happens in like California Investment Bank for like those delegates that don't know too much about it?
Yeah, so basically what they like to call it is like the Shark Tank of YNG. Yeah, that like they say like there's like
Oh, I like that. That's
yeah,
good.
five or four judges they get like elected by like interviews and then after they get elected, like around 60 delegates, they propose a bill. They all get in groups, like there's a housing group, there's like a health group, there's um like a food group, like just proposals to try to make California better. And then once they come to a conclusion, they propose that bill to the judges, and then the judges say like whether it's gonna pass or not. So like Shark Tank, like, oh, I made like this invention or in this case I made this bill and okay I want to pass it and I say how much it's probably going to cost for California. I say how long it's going to be in place for and when like you have to be like very specific because like if you're just too broad like oh I just want to fix homelessness in California, but if you don't have like the steps that you get like from the other delegates in your group, then you propose it to like what like they call like the sharks. It would work much better to propose a bill. And then after that, I think it goes to the if the sharks accept it, the five authority board members, then it goes, I think, to the governor's office with like Itzhak and the chief and sec of state.
Hmm. Yeah, it actually sounds really interesting. I like the analogy that it's kind of like the Shark Tank of YNG. I think that's
I never
all.
thought of investment bank that way. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think that's like I think like if anybody's listening or like whoever's listening right now to the podcast, like I think there's going to be a lot of people who are now like really interested and like want to hear more about California Investment Bank or like will sign up next year because I found it super interesting what you said.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm a senior, so I won't get to sign up, but it does sound really cool. Okay. So what was your favorite moment from a YNG conference?
Favorite moment.
It get like a personal memory, like favorite moment from a YNG conference.
Ooh.
Or like an officer
It's a
retreat.
hard one.
Yeah,
It's a
I know
hard one,
it's a
yeah.
really hard one. Yeah.
Mine was from our officer retreat. It was pretty good. But
You could say it. You could say it. What was it?
so we have all female officers and then Devin. So it is four of us and then Devin. So we all walked Devin to his cabin, and as we were leaving, we were just laughing about what had just happened because Devin was being really goofy. And as we're walking back, I noticed something. I just noticed someone in all dark clothing wearing a hood. And I look back and I'm like, we're being followed. And I'm like, who would follow us though? And I'm in my head, I'm like, oh my God, Devin's following us. So I whispered to him, like, guys, Devin's following us. So then I jump back, I turn around with the flashlight, shine it in his face. He's like, darn it. And we were like, yeah. And he was like, how'd you know? I was like, Devin, who else would follow us like that? Nobody. So yeah, it was just a really sweet moment. And it's my favorite memory from a YNG conference.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's fun. I think like there might only be like two officers that are boys in our delegation right now, and the rest are girls. Or
Hmm.
yeah, but my favorite it might because I'm also in DECA and it's like nothing like YNG, especially because of the it might be because like everyone gets mad whenever we clean up the barracks. Like like last time at Bob, we were in the bus for like 1 or 2 hours straight because we had to wait for like someone else, and then everyone would just like start getting really mad, and like it was just it was like it would be really funny because like I would be like you put yourself in this position. Like it's your fault. You should have
Hmm.
like cleaned up your mess. That's a good memory. Another one is every year at Bob, I do like runs and like at like 5, 6 a.m. with other delegates. And it's like really like fun. It's like a good way to start the morning or like maybe get the stress out before like giving a speech to propose a bill or in front of like the entire YNG. Um but oh also and Assassin. You guys play Assassin in your delegation or no?
A little bit. I think we have in the past.
Yeah,
We thought about doing it this year because we know that some delegations do it and it looks like a lot of fun. And I feel like the Assassins is like kind of iconic. Like sometimes I just like to watch Pally delegates as they're looking around, like someone's out to get them. It's yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's really fun.
And then
Um, yeah, you go.
yeah, I have my next question here. This is actually comes straight from our delegation. So, based on like what you've heard or experienced, can you rank like the following five program areas based on like their vibe or energy? Like one having like the best energy and five having like the least
Or
energy.
like people you've met from and they just happen to be in that program area, and you're like, this is not a coincidence. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So we have appellate court districts, ledge houses, CIB, California Investment Bank, Constitutional
mm,
Convention, and then ICON, International Convention,
Okay.
be most best vibe to like least favorite vibe.
out of the five. Yeah.
Okay. Um,
If you need us to read them again, we can.
yeah, yeah. Could you read it again, please?
Yeah, yeah. So we have appellate court districts, ledge houses, California Investment Bank, Con, and Icon.
Ooh, okay. Um, okay. I've always heard that like Con was like the most hype. It had like the best vibe ever. And I always applied for it every year, but I don't get it because seniors get priority. I want to say like one, but I think I have to say two because like I've never tried it. So I need the first hand experience.
Mm-hmm.
I only like heard stories about like it's like an open discussion and like everybody's like not really arguing, but like I don't know. It's like everyone just says it's like one of the best program areas. But I'm gonna go two because I haven't seen it in like real life. Um okay. Appellate court, I will put three. Uh and then okay. International convention, I don't think I've heard that much of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um
I think it's kind of it's pretty popular like Con too, yeah. That's what I've heard.
Okay, then this is hard. Okay, I think I'll go
It's hard, yeah.
international convention. I'll go four. Or
Hmm.
fine, yeah, I'll go four.
Hmm.
Then California Investment Bank, I'll say one, and Ledge House five. But like that's because like I need like the first-hand experience. Like
Yeah, 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 I know. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I like obviously on the YNG website, I like there's like paragraphs that say like about it and stuff, and then there's word of mouth from like other delegates saying like, "Oh, this is the best," or "This is so boring. Like, why did I sign
I know
up?"
that Icon during Bob got pretty crazy. I know that. And
What
that like yeah, but like I don't even know what happened. I just know that everybody I knew that was an Icon, I feel like they just only talked about what was happening in Icon. Like they were just so invested in it. They were really just
I think
yeah.
I think for next year, oh, if I could choose again, I think I would go ConCon for because we usually have like a Google form for three things.
Hmm.
My first one I think would be ConCon. Second one would be like Icon, and then because I don't want to do California Investment in Ledge House again because I already did those. And then yeah, I don't know. I think ConCon Icon because again, like this is just word of mouth. You're saying it like sounds really good. Now I'm like I really want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next question. If you could join another delegation for a day, which one would you choose? This includes SoCal, NorCal, and like in Central, like all any California delegation. If you could choose one for a day to be a part of, which one would it be?
Okay. Wait, I have to think. Um, Only one? I can't choose like two or three.
You can choose two or three, yeah.
You can choose two or three.
Okay. Okay. I don't want to be biased, but I'll choose you guys because like you guys are the only people that actually like did like a podcast. And like I've
We're
never
innovative.
yeah, like I've never heard of that like for YNG to do a podcast, which is honestly like really smart.
It's
And like
such a
I
YG thing too, I feel like.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
almost
I
feels
was
a little bit.
surprised that we were the first ones to have had this idea
Hmm.
because I feel like everywhere everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I have a podcast." Like I feel like we were like I thought someone would have beat us to the punch, but I guess not.
But shout out
One day,
Amy.
one day I have to be the host and I ask you guys questions.
Do. We'll
Let's
have to
do it.
bring you on.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys um maybe like a small delegation that like cuz
Like Conejo or something.
yeah, or like cuz I know like some of them they just joined like this year. Um I think Anaheim might have been one of them.
Hmm.
Really?
Um and then
Shout out Pittsburgh, by the way. One of their delegates was in my appellate court district, like program area, and I actually didn't know that there was a Pittsburgh delegation. So shout out Pittsburgh. I think they're in Northern California, and that delegate was super super nice.
Oh well. Okay,
I didn't
then
even know that there was a Pittsburgh, California until maybe 2 years ago.
me
So,
too.
like,
I I live in Brentwood, and like whenever I like search weather in Brentwood, it's never like there's like somewhere else. I don't know if it's in California
yeah.
or like somewhere else, but that it like it's Brentwood, California. It doesn't say Brentwood, Los Angeles. And I always think that's like the weather for the day, and it's not. Um, yeah, Pittsburgh. There's a Pittsburgh in California. I never knew that either. I have to, okay, then I have to talk to them. Maybe I tell them to make a podcast too.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but that's my answer to the question.
Yeah, perfect. And then next question. I know that some great leaders have had like mentorship throughout their lives. Who do you think like your biggest inspiration has been like through your life or like one of your biggest inspirations?
Okay. Um, I think like the obvious answer, I would probably say my mom because like she always pushed me to do things that like I would never want to do. Like I love basketball, and I remember when I was a little kid, I never wanted to play, but she would be like, if you play, like you would get ice cream, and then I just started doing a lot, and like it became so fun. And
Oh, that's
then
sweet.
my mom also pushed me to be like more of like a person that gives speeches and talks in front of crowds. Like I think I was like the vice president of my elementary school, and she one that pushed me to do that too. Um, and then like, and then I started to realize like, okay, this is not bad. And then I would do like chaplain, I would do speech and debate, and I realized that like, okay, maybe she is right that I I might be good at like speaking, or maybe I actually like speaking. Um, so it'd be probably my mom. Uh, Another mentor.
Well, yeah, just one mentor is fine, but like if you have
Okay,
anybody
then I'll
else
say my
as
mom.
well.
I'll say my mom. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Actually,
Okay.
my question team, they thought like that was like a super generic question, but I actually thought it was like a super like impactful question, and I'm glad that like I got to hear like that your mom has been an inspiration because I think that like all of us leaders we like all draw from our roots, and those are like the
Mhm.
mentors and the people who have like
And
built us.
those questions like remind you why you're doing this. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's
Hmm.
also why we really wanted to include it. Because a lot of our team, they were like, I don't know, like that seems like such a, and we were like, mm-mm,
Yeah,
mm-mm,
because
Shout
mm-mm.
out the team. We love you guys.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love you
shout out the
guys.
team. Because like you can obviously say like if someone asks you, "Oh, why did you want to do YNG or why did you apply to be Youth Gov?" You could obviously say like, "Oh, I thought there was this program that or I thought there was this like issue that was wrong in YNG or California." But then you could also be like, "Okay, like and not a lot of people say this. Like they usually say like, "Oh, it's the issue in California or whatever." But you could also be like, oh, well, my mom told me like she didn't force me to do this, but then I started as Devin, you said from your roots, I started like liking about topics like this, and I started to like to debate and like talk in front of crowds. And I realized like maybe this is my perfect fit being in YNG. And I now like thank you for bringing that up because like maybe I want to like include that in like a speech or more like whenever people ask me like why did you run for YNG? And it's not just oh it's an issue in a program area, but like my mom was that's thank you for you guys asking that question.
Yeah, of course.
At any time, that's what we're here for, man.
Yeah.
And then going back to your time at Bob, I believe your like most memorable moment in my eyes at Bob was including references to like birds throughout your speech, right? Yeah, I see the
Don't
smile.
worry, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Don't worry.
What was like the inspiration behind including that as like your focal point of like the speech and almost like your whole campaign at this point, like as like a memorable point? Like what was the
Okay,
inspiration?
so I'm definitely gonna add more of the bird and sack, but it wasn't like yeah, because like
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
no. Like now I realize like okay, people like this. Maybe I should go towards that way because a lot of my friends are like publicity is publicity, and then it's like at the end of the day, it'll help you. Um, But
It
basically,
did.
I love like looking up motivation and looking up like quotes and stuff. So I thought like in my speech, like I would like maybe like scroll through Instagram or like read books and like I would find the quote that I really liked and then I would put it on my on a Google Doc and then once I put it on my Google Doc, I would pick like what's my favorite one or what would fit into my speech. And then I realized like, oh, I remember one time there was like a girl that talked about like elephants in cages, something like that, or like
I
this
think
was
that was
actually,
Nicholas Johnson's opening speech, I believe, in YG last year. I'm not sure, maybe at Bob, but
For joint session. Oh, I wasn't.
for joint
yeah,
session.
no, I think so because like, and then I try like I realized like okay, maybe that's a good point, but like you can't just say like the exact same thing that he said. So I tried like a different approach. I had to use like motivation to like get the crowd rallied up and like realize like okay, like I'm actually devoted. And then I used this quote and like I used like a hook. So the hook was obviously like the birds in a cage or birds born in a cage think flying is an illness. And like I like you try to like hook the audience and then after you hook the audience like you explain it and I try to connect it to YNG kind of like Nicholas Johnson did but like I just try to like feel like I was actually like motivated and it wasn't like just like a like oh I'm just trying to sound inspirational, please just vote for me, but like I don't know, I'm definitely gonna have like a quote. Actually, I think I started already a Google Doc for SAC. Uh, and it's probably gonna be like something around birds, but I'm gonna like try to like go for that same format because I think people liked it. Um, that that like okay, maybe include the birds because people obviously like the birds. Um, but also like the motivation, the devotion, like like try to try to make myself not just give a speech in front of a crowd, but like feel like I'm talking to them like in a normal conversation. So that's my plan for SAC and yeah, yeah, I'm definitely gonna include the birds and I'm glad I did because it definitely paid off.
Yeah, and I feel like
Follow-up question.
just real
Wait,
quick,
what's
I
up,
wanted to
Devin?
say, I think it's like super important. Like you're standing up there with like 10, 12 other like Gov candidates, and you need to, like stand out to make it into like that top four, or in like past years, like the top two. I think it was top three actually. You need to stand out and make sure like the crowd is engaged in what you're saying, and you're able to get to the next level of the competition. We'll ask a little bit about like your campaign specifically at Bob later, but yeah, it's super important to engage the crowd, like you were saying. And I think you're really good at engaging people in your speech, like especially like because throughout this interview, you've also been like using our names as well when you're like talking to
Realize
us too.
that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I can
and
appreciate
that's
when someone uses my name.
what?
Yeah. Oh
Appreciate
my.
it.
Yeah. Because like
That's
not a lot of
beautiful.
people like use like your name when, especially if you've like met somebody new. So it's like super engaging and like cool that you use that. Yeah.
What? That's cra wow. Yeah, I did say the names to like try to like make you guys feel like I'm not like boring or
Yeah.
like and
You're not
you
boring.
guys
Don't worry.
you
Don't
guys
worry.
realize it, yeah, but yeah, I've been like reading a lot like try to hook the people and not like I guess sound boring or I don't I mean if you like notice this stuff you maybe you have to apply for like a big role too or you guys both notice I don't know, that's crazy.
No, I just read into the situation as the interviewer I am, and I just thought that you were great
The
at
interviewer
engaging
you
an
are.
audience.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, I every time I like try and call a company, I always ask them, I'm like, so sorry, what was your name again? Because I like to use their name because I feel like people are more inclined to be nicer to you and they're more inclined to like want to help you when you make it like personal. So yeah, I can really appreciate that you do that as well. Like I noticed it too. I was like, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do that way more. Like, uh, also whenever I say like happy birthday, I don't just say happy birthday. I say their name even if I barely know them. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot. So
It matters. It matters.
yeah.
All right. Next question. It's the one we've all been waiting for. So What is your impression, and how do you feel about the fact that you have gotten the nickname Birdman
That's in,
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's in multiple delegations, but that's our delegation for sure,
on an
Birdman.
app that shall not be named?
Okay,
That
so
was a very widely used nickname, and I was like, I wonder how he feels about this because that's kind of a good nickname. Like to me, it has a nice ring to it. So I don't know. I just wanted to know how you felt about that and what you had to say.
okay, honestly, like I'm glad because like I at the end of the day, as like my friends told me, like it's publicity and like that's what you're trying to get and you want to like have a connection with the people that are voting for you. So I guess my connection would be like, oh, you could call me by this nickname. So honestly, I really like that and as I said, I'm gonna continue going that way in SAC. Um but yeah, it's honestly like great. Because like I don't even if people don't know my name, it's like
Because now you've left a legacy too.
yeah, it's
You
like
left a legacy too, even if
yeah, even if like people don't know my name, it's like it's the connection with the people that are listening to you, the people that are voting for you. It's not just like, oh, vote Ashton or like you could obviously say vote Ashton, but like what is that what does that mean behind like vote Ashton? Like or I don't know. I just tried to like make I didn't even know how that even like honestly I didn't even know that how that came up. But I'm very glad that it did it like happened the way it did, and 100% it's gonna be intact.
are you gonna make pins with Birdman?
Yeah, I think I might.
Please save me one.
Yeah.
Um, okay, and what do you think? Because I know that you probably hear things. It's like, oh, this is working, this is working. But personally, like trusting your gut, what do you think made your campaign successful enough to make it to this stage in the race?
That's a good question. Wait, can you repeat it, please?
So, what do you think, um, like personally, made your campaign successful enough to get to this stage in the race?
Okay, so I talked to the people that like listened to my speech, and I saw like I was talking to this one person. They're like you actually felt like you were talking to the crowd. It wasn't I okay, so number one, I tried to make sure like I gave the most eye contact I could. Um, but like also like it wasn't just like I was reading off a paper. I I had to include like the hooks, like the names. Um, like how I mentioned like delegation names in my speech. I put the hook at the beginning. I I told people or the Birdman thing. I I didn't make like people try to fall asleep in my speech by like saying like, oh, raise your hand if like a teacher called on you for I
Mhm.
don't but if you realize all of this connects back to the speech. So I put like a lot of time into the speech. I didn't make sure like it was like last minute because I know 1000% people may not see you in person at Bob. They might be like in their barracks. You might like not encounter them over there at around the barracks they might not see your Instagram. So like there's no other way. So the main thing was the speech. So if my speech is not good, you're basically losing. So I had to make sure I included everything in that speech and under 2 minutes. A lot of the candidates, they did over 2 minutes.
Mhm.
Um, I made sure I didn't, and I made sure that the crowd was listening the entire way. So, and then besides the speech, because like the speech is like 80% of like why you said this, like my campaign is successful and I made it to SAC. Besides the speech, a lot of it is just like interacting with like the people like it wouldn't just be like, oh, like
Hmm.
this is my policy. Like, okay, I said my platform already in my speech. I said my campaign and everything in my speech. Now I have to try to get to know the person. So I would go up to people like random people above. I would introduce myself. They already heard my platform, so I don't have to restate it. I would just like say like, oh, what delegation are you from? What's your callback? Um, like maybe if they were playing a sport, like, oh, could I play for like 5 minutes or something? Like like try to interact with the person. It's not just like a oh, please just vote for me, vote for me. I'm gonna fix California. You have to like get to know the person that's voting for you. Um, yeah, you just have to build a relationship with everyone, whether it's through the speech or whether it's outside the speech around the barracks or at SAC.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to like meet m many of the candidates. And but I saw you quite a few times around, so I definitely know that like you were making your rounds and you were putting in the hard work. Like especially like around like the dining tent and everything. So yeah, I think that was definitely like a core part of your campaign.
Again, yeah, and again on the app that shall not be named, I would say that I saw pretty much only positive things about you as a candidate, which is like it's not the most common, but I would say that I did see a lot of positive things about you, saying like, "Oh, Birdman talked to me," like things like that. And I think that it was noticeable how much of an impact you made, like at Bob, trying to get to know people.
Hmm. And then with our next question, this is a little bit like about what you were saying earlier, like what you do like in the mornings at Bob. So we know that you love to do your during like your morning like long runs with like members of the YNG community, right? How long have you been like doing that for? Like at Camp Bob, and like is taking morning runs something that you do at home too? Or
Okay, so I started my first year at YNG. Wait, let me think.
Take your time.
No, actually, no, I started last year. Yeah, I started in 10th grade. It was just like me and like three of my friends, and two of them were in cross country. And then I'm like, oh, you guys want to run in the morning? It's probably gonna be like good sunrise. And then like I don't like I think like only like two people like showed up, which is okay. But the sunrise was like cool, and then like I felt good after I ran. Um and then also my mom, she doesn't let me do it in the mornings like it at my house. Uh I don't know why, or it might just because like be it might just be because like I would be like too lazy. I would be too comfy in my bed. The sunrise is harder to see next to my house. But at Bob, like it's like you have to make like your time worth it at Bob. Like you're only there for 3 days. You're at your house like every single day. So why not make it worth it with like other people that may also want to run? So then I put on my Instagram, I said like, okay, everyone just bring your shoes just in case maybe you change your mind. Um, and then that was like a great way for me to like meet people, also see the sunrise, and it didn't like make me lazy. Like I didn't want to like right before my speech, I could have just like slept in. Um, but I realized like okay, maybe like let me release all the stress. I'm about to like speak in front of 2,000 people. Let me also
A lot of people.
interact with some other delegates and meet them, and let me see the sunrise. And then I would also and then I would go back. I would feel like relaxed. I feel better about myself. Like, okay, maybe I got my workout out for the day. I go shower, and then I would feel confident about my speech. And I do it the next day, maybe meet some more people. Um, and yeah, like I try to like fit it with my campaign to be like okay, let's like we're only gonna be at Bob for 4 years. And I only started running for 3 years. Let's like use the time that we have to like make memories, like maybe wake up at 5 a.m. and see the sunrise together. Um, but yeah, yeah. And but at school, like I don't run in the morning. We usually run after school for cross country.
Mhm.
Okay. So through our research, we saw that you interned at Kaiser, and we just wanted to know like what made you apply for that, and what do you feel like you gained from that experience and how it shaped you?
Okay, so wait, how did you guys know I entered at Kaiser?
It's our team. We have our team. Don't
Okay.
question it.
Oh
Just
wait, wait.
answer the
Oh,
just answer the questions. Don't ask them.
I know there was someone in YNG that also like Internet Kaiser, but oh, I also posted a picture on Instagram. Okay. Okay. At Kaiser, I basically I started 3 years ago. I
Hmm.
volunteered in like eighth to ninth grade, and then I volunteered again the year after, and then I was finally 16, so I entered, and then I got paid, um, and like I realized like okay, like this is not bad. Like you're volunteering or you're getting paid, but like you're also like and like people could say like oh it's so good for the college application, whatever, whatever. But then like I also realized like or no. Here's what it was. So I also interned at like this law office, and like my mom also like told me like try to get the most opportunities you have like right now to see like maybe right after college what you want to do. Like I don't want to try everything like okay right during college. Like I do law maybe, I do medical or whatever. I like do it all in high school. So then right after college I don't waste any time and I could get a job to what I like. So at Kaiser, like I worked in like the emergency room, I pushed wheelchairs, and then I interned at like the pharmacy, and it was like a different like environment. It like I learned like leadership skills, but I also learned like I like being like young in like a room. I don't know how to explain this. I like in my AP bio class in 10th grade. I was like one of the only sophomores, and I kind of like liked it. I felt like, oh, I'm the youngest. Like, okay, maybe I make some mistakes, but I'm also the youngest. So at Kaiser, okay, I'm at a hospital right now. I might be the youngest, and I might make some mistakes, but again, I'm the youngest. I'm learning skills, and it's not like a like 100% I have to devote to this for the rest of my life. But I'm trying. I what like answering your question. I'm learning different opportunities that I could use after college. Like whether it's like the skills I learn or like the environment. Do I like being here or do I like sitting at an office or do I like speaking or like do I
Hmm.
like maybe like saving lives? Yeah, it was like I just wanted to see the opportunity of what am I gonna do after college.
Yeah. I feel like maybe what you're trying to explain is like you kind of felt like the rookie of the year
Yeah,
almost like
yeah,
that
yeah,
environment. Like you
yeah.
felt like the youngin that just came in and is doing like great work for the community and like at the office and stuff. And like it's like cool to be like in the same environment as like people who are like a lot older than you.
Devin definitely knows that feeling.
Why why does he know that feeling?
He's also the youngest on our opposite team.
Yeah.
Not only is he the only boy, he is
Yeah.
also the youngest.
You could say I'm kind of the maybe the rookie of the year in
Oh my
actually I think that was an
God.
award last year. Was that not an
Look,
award?
I'm also a first year officer, so
Okay. Uh and then this next question, this was pertaining to the California wildfires in the Southland in the last month. So we heard that you've been doing some work for like first responders, like that were like helping protect and extinguish fires from like your community. Can you tell us a little bit about like what you did?
Okay, so do you want me to like give like the entire story? Because like I could talk from like beginning to end for like
give us as much or as little as you want to. Like
Yeah.
we are here to
I could
listen.
talk. Like I love talking.
Hmm.
Um
It's literally called the Yap podcast.
This is
So
literally the Yap podcast, so
we know that
let's
it's youth
yap
and
right now.
power, but it has a double meaning on purpose. So
well, then I'm gonna go from the beginning to the end. Like it's gonna this okay. Um like can you want me to say like the process of like this fire and everything?
go
Like
for it.
okay.
Yeah.
So, you sure you have the time or like
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh, it was like Tuesday, like the 7th of January, and then me and my friend we went to the Palisades Library, but it was closed. Because like we had to wait like another 2 hours, so it was like 12 to open. And then we're like, okay, like what are we gonna do then? So then we went and we brought our books to Starbucks. So we started studying in Starbucks for like 30 minutes and then um like we just saw people going outside. So it was like 10:30, 11 at that time. And then we just see like a big like smoke everywhere. And then like my friend gets a call like, "Oh, we have to pick up my brother from Paul Revere Middle School." Like, okay, keep in mind we're still on break right now. Or not right now. I'm like at that time, we were on winter break. But the Paul Revere wasn't the middle school. We have to go pick him up. I think they're gonna get evacuated. So but first we had to pick up his sister, and his sister was at the Pali track, the Pali High School track, because she had like track
Ooh.
practice. So we first picked her up, and then we went to um uh Paul Revere, and there's just like a bunch of smoke like everywhere, and they started evacuating the students to the field. And this is Paul Revere. This is not even near the Palisades, but there was so much smoke. So then uh we picked up his brother right before they were about to send him to uni next to Collins and Katz YMCA. But we got him luckily in time. And then like I went to like the library after. I'm like, okay, I'm guessing like this fire is gonna go out like soon. And then it didn't. Like I get a bunch of calls like while I'm like trying to do like
Not.
safe push and like um yeah, so then I go home, we turn on the news. um, and then like we realize like okay, like this is actually like big, like this is something, and like I see like a bunch of videos and like okay, so then it's like now then Wednesday I was at home, but then I was like looking on Instagram, and there was this pizza place called Danny Boy's Pizza in Westwood, and they said like looking for volunteers to help. So then we went to there on Thursday, and we like got like 10 pizza boxes. We brought it to another restaurant. From there like we picked up more stuff like Indian food, Mexican food, like a bunch of food, and then we brought that all the way to like Calabasas. And then the day after that, we did that like again, but we didn't go to Calabasas. Like uh, we went like to around like fire stations. Like we tried to do it like quick so we could get the most fire stations we could.
Hmm.
Uh, and then we went.
So sorry, I'm so sorry to
Oh
interrupt,
no,
but
don't
so
be
you
sorry.
didn't go to like an organization. You and your friend were like, we should just give the first responders some food.
So on Thursday, we went with the pizza place. They just said like we're giving free pizza, but we need volunteer like drivers. Um,
Okay.
but the day after, we literally I went to like my local temple, and we drove with like um with them. Like they were allowed to go past into the Palisades, like past the barricades of like police and stuff, and we donated them like chicken and like rice. Um and then yeah, it was like kind of scary because like that Friday night I was just like watching TV with my family, and then like the lights just like go out, the TV turns off, and we lose like
That happened to me.
yeah, like my friends evacuated. We never did, but we just like we lost electricity for a week. And we kept all of our like refrigerator and freezer food in like my grandma's house, and then we brought it back after the week. But thank God our house like didn't burn out, and like we like I think we were supposed to evacuate, but we didn't have to because like it's just electricity. But like a lot of my friends in the Palisades, they lost their houses, and we made sure like we donated to the GoFundMe's, and like we went to like events, we called them, we donated more food. It's just like it's really sad. Um but I like I don't know. It's like it's sad. But now we're on Zoom. We started Zoom 2 days ago. And a lot of
I heard
people,
about that. I have a few friends that go to Pali, and yeah.
yeah, a lot of people left the school. They went to like near Costa now because like they don't want to do Zoom again. And like I think some of them that lost their houses are moving there. Um,
Somebody from Pali, I think, is actually moved to Larchmont. I think like maybe one or two students did.
I have a few friends that went from Larchmont to Pali, and a lot of my friends are saying that they might come back now because because of the
The
fires.
whole school is it, I heard like there's
I
some
heard
rumors.
that like 70% of it is still there,
Yeah, like 40% is like gone. It's like I would say like 20 classrooms.
but the
Um,
smoke damage.
yeah, but with the smoke damage, like half of my out of my six classes, half of mine classes are gone. But like the smoke damage and then like they said 4 to 6 weeks. Um, we're not gonna go back to Pali. I don't think we're gonna like by 4 to 6 weeks we're gonna have an alternative campus. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah. I don't I think it'll be longer though, and I think it'll be hard to like try to find like 1,000 or 2,000 kids another alternative campus.
Because
But
Pelly's not a small school.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it for sure.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
I love how like even through like all of this adversity, there's always light, right? And like the SoCal community and like even people in NorCal who have been supporting too, and like people all over the country and the world who have been like advocating for like donating to the GoFundMe's and just like for awareness, right? For all these fires and the support that we need. Everybody especially in the Los Angeles area, has just been like coming together and supporting each other, volunteering, like what you did. We've been working a little bit. Our delegation has been working a little bit at like the because our Anderson Munger YMCA we're like a fire like relief or we're
I
donating.
volunteered about 12 hours a day for a few
Yeah.
days at the
Wow.
Koreatown location.
Hmm.
Yeah, they had me because I'm in youth and gov, so I was like our advisor was like, "Oh, like she's really good, like don't worry." So they had me at the front desk answering phones as like I don't even work there, but I was like, "Koreatown YMCA, this is Sophia, how can I help you?"
Amazing.
And it was really just like kind of beautiful to see everybody going all hands on deck, dropping their weekends to go and like help everybody. Um, and a lot of people like I was expecting to see mostly high school students trying to get like volunteer hours, but it was like a lot of like adults like in their 20s, and I was there, and I don't have anything to gain from my volunteer hours anymore because I've already submitted college applications, but like it was really nice to see California kind of coming together for the first time in a while.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was oh sorry. I was there too because I was picking up like stuff for like a couple of like family friends who lost their homes in the Eaton fire and then also just like passing to like donate to like a drive at our school too. Just like making the rounds with my mom to like that YMCA and then other locations to like other schools who had like donation centers and it was just like super obviously like it's a horrible situation, but I'm glad that there's so many passionate people there and they're talking to me about their passion and their drive for being there and wanting to help the community out.
yeah, yeah. Our advisor was at the YMCA before it burnt down. Uh,
Mm.
and I think I was like one of the last people in that Starbucks. But it's okay, it's okay. Well, I also I reached my max volunteer hours, but
That's a thing.
like I don't know. I think I don't know. It's like a weird system at my school.
Mm.
But
Wow.
like on Wednesday night before we first started to volunteer, like it was kind of like annoying for me. Like why I'm just sitting at home. I like everything is fine. I have electricity, and then like my best friends in the Palisades, they have no house. Like what like Ashton, what are you doing? Like wake up, like you have to do something at least. You can't just like sit on your laptop, do homework, or go play basketball or go eat. Like it was kind of
I
hard.
felt the same way.
Yeah, I had actually a similar experience too. I don't know if you know of like Will Rogers, like the state park, right? So I don't know if you heard of like the two houses, like or like the property, like where like the buildings were burned down, and I was actually there like a day before the fires, like going through the tour with like my mom and a couple of friends. And it's just like it's crazy to think that like I was probably like in the last like probably like 25 people to step through that house or maybe I think we might have been the last group so we it's just crazy to think we were probably like the last tour to go through the house before it burned down and that thing has been there since I mean Will Rogers was alive obviously um and yeah I don't know it's just it's crazy to just think about how like the whole community has like it's burned down over there But like I was saying before, it's really important that we're all coming together and just supporting everybody, and there will be a rebuild, and we'll all be there for it. Right.
And I feel like I feel like we all experienced this where I was getting messages from people I haven't heard from in years. And I was getting calls. I was like, we haven't talked since we were 10, but yeah, I'm fine. Like, there was like, I think one scare where I was afraid that I was going to have to evacuate, or two scares because I lived really close, um, like about a mile away from one of the structure fire in Studio City, where those two houses that were like surrounded by brush were burning down, but they caught it really quick. And I was fortunate enough to not have to evacuate. And then when the Palisades fire had reached Mulholland, uh, again, I live like a mile away from that. So I was like right between the two. And I think that at a certain point, I was like, okay, I can't just like sit here being scared. I'm going to pack up all my stuff. I'm going to take it with me to the YMCA and I'm going to go. I'm going to do my part. So yeah, I just, yeah. Um, Devin, is it
Do you have any
your
more
next
time
question or is
for questions, Ashton? I'm sorry, we probably like went
it?
way over like
No,
the 10
no,
to
no.
20.
No. So you're completely good. Do you want me to ask you guys questions?
Well, we have a couple more
We have
questions
like
and then we
two
can
more, but
ask that.
after that,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, I'm
ask
ready.
away.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm.
yeah. All right,
You,
on a
Devin,
more
is it your
lighthearted
question or
note,
mine? We'll
yeah.
cut this part out, but is it your question or mine? I lost
Uh,
track.
it's your question. Let's start on a more
Okay,
lighthearted note here. Yeah.
okay. On a bit of a lighter note, so are there any hobbies or activities that we haven't asked about? Or like you mentioned basketball a few times, we kind of glossed over that, but I just wanted to know, like, is there any activities that you do that you want to shout out a bit more?
um. Okay, so I love playing basketball. I love to run. And then I volunteer um like in other ways. Like there's this thing, it's called friendship circle, where you're like you bond with like a special education kid. You go to like let's say like a go-kart place or a trampoline park, and like you play with them, you talk to them, like you build strong relations with these kids. And yeah, I do that a lot. I try to do it every week. um I play the violin. I mean, I'm not that good. I'm kind of good. Or no, no,
Hey,
I'm
it's same philosophy as your friend said, publicity is publicity. If you can play the violin, you can play the violin.
okay, I play the violin. Um, but yeah, I love watching movies.
Yeah.
I try to like watch TV shows, but like I don't know, like I feel like I'm wasting time, but like then again, like a movie's the same thing. It's just like a bunch of TV shows. But
Do you have a letterboxed?
a what?
A letterbox? It's that app where people just review movies.
Literal. Wait, let me see. I don't know
You
what that.
should get it. I think you really, if you watch a lot of movies, I think you would like Letterboxd.
I'm gonna search it right now. Litter.
Also, real quick, while you're searching that up, I'm not sure if you know one of the other candidates, Kayla Ring. She's running for Chief Justice. She's actually a part of Friendship Circle too. We were interviewed her the other day. I don't know how big the organization is, but she says like she has like there's like also meetings like monthly meetings where like all of the different pairs like show up at like one big gathering. I'm not sure like is
And
that
if you
like
need a reminder as to who Kayla Ring is, she was the one with the signs with the bells in it.
oh yeah.
Yeah, actually, she went to my middle school. She was like the vice
Oh,
president of our school, and she gave like one of the graduation, which is like really good. But yeah, we're good friends, and she's like amazing at giving speeches.
Yeah. Do you know her from Friendship Circle though, or have you seen her at
Uh,
Friendship Circle?
from middle school.
But yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
but yeah, I play basketball too, by the way. I've been on our varsity team since my freshman year. So,
Wow.
and yeah, thank you. But yeah, I can appreciate someone else who plays basketball. It's a sportive discipline.
Is this
It really
the?
is.
Is it?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay, I'll get
And then real quick, just we I think we have like three more questions.
it.
So how has your delegation, Pally Mally, been like supporting you throughout your campaign?
Okay, so I think it was like a week or two before they helped me a lot making the posters. Like I barely touched them. I honestly I'm gonna be honest, I suck at drawing. And I suck like I just suck. So they drew like a bunch of posters and then we picked like three of them. And also like the spirit that comes with it. Like a lot of them they just like love like supporting. Like at Bob, they would go to random people and they would like say like, "Oh, like this is Ashton, like you should vote for him."
I think
Um,
I got campaigned by your team about twice while we were there. And we also were sitting behind you guys when they were announcing the final candidates and the celebration. Wow.
yeah, well, I think it's because we have a lot of people. Yeah,
Still,
yeah,
the energy was there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I couldn't obviously do without them. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, your delegation, I swear, I think on like the square dance night, I was in my like cowboy fit or whatever. Editor, you can put
Ooh,
those photos in right
Devin's cowboy outfit.
now. But yeah, it
Devin's
was pretty
cowboy outfit
iconic,
was like
you
my
know.
favorite part of Bob.
But I think
It was
like your
so
media
good.
team or something, they were like interviewed me and like my friend or something. But you guys have a maybe was that your delegation? You guys have like a media team like with like the microphones and stuff, or
Yeah, but I don't think that they ever post it. I think they
no?
just do it just to do it.
They
We
just do it
need
just to do
to
it.
you need to send us that footage of Devin's interview so we can put it in the episode.
No, I think Everett has it. I'm pretty sure. I know. I think Luna has it actually. Shout out Everett and Luna, amazing Emmy delegates. Okay. Anyway, um. Next question. This is also has to do with just campaigning in general. Do you have any tips for like future like candidates for like youth governor or like just any any
Any positions.
any positions?
Okay. I mean, you guys obviously know the tips. You two, like, you guys caught the name thing. But I mean, the people watching, um, you gotta be like confident in yourself. Like, if you don't believe in yourself, then like, who's gonna believe in you? And like, you have to make sure that like you're not like I don't want to say you're not boring, but like you always because like these is a lot of people have like low attention span. Like I could say even I have low attention span. Like I
I have ADHD horrendously, so I
it's
understand.
crazy. So like you have to not just in your campaign, but your speech, you have to make sure the viewer is like always listening. Like whether it's like something funny or whether it's about your policy, like you always have to make sure it's like the viewer is listening to you. Um, and then you have to in your campaign, I would say, as I said, you have to be confident in yourself and you have to like stand out. You can't just like be like oh that other person that like oh just vote for me because of this and that. But like you have to a good way of standing out is by knowing your voters or knowing the people that like you're always with. Um and oh, actually, here's a good tip. Not a lot of the times you you have to give like your badges or like whatever to the people that are in your delegation. Because like I did, but maybe at SAC I won't give as many because I already know those people are gonna vote for me. I know them personally. So you shouldn't like always like go up and like I don't want to say waste your time, but
Don't
always
give the merch to the ones you
yeah.
already got.
And it's not
Yeah.
just yeah, it's not just even the merch. Like you should like introduce yourself. It could be like a person you've never talked to once in your life it like you like okay maybe you already have a lot of like people that you already know you still have to go to new people and whether
Hmm.
like, you don't like it or not you I mean this is what you signed up for so that's what you have to do.
Yeah, how was the pin creation? Did you like how did you create the pins? Just like for people who want to know in the
I
future.
just I went there's like this website and then I uploaded the picture Like I edited the picture. I put like there's a website where like you could just like make custom
You
pins.
just order pins. Yeah.
Oh, you can order them straight from the website, or do you like print it
Yeah.
out? Oh, okay,
Oh,
perfect.
I order, yeah. But I think I like some candidates printed it out and then like put it on there.
Yeah, because I know some people have like button machines where you could like manually like actually like put together
Yeah.
the button. Yeah.
Okay. Our final question. When looking at your campaign at first glance, we saw that you were like super devoted to really emphasizing the voice of the delegate in youth and government. But we really wanted to ask what's something from your campaign that you feel like hasn't been highlighted enough and that you'd really like to get out there.
Oh, that's a good question. What has not been
Right?
enough? Yeah, shout out to whoever made this question. Um, um,
Okay. Hey. I asked some really okay. Let me say, in our idea session, I was really one after the other. I was going. I was getting some good ideas out there.
Yeah, yeah. It was all collaborative effort.
Sorry,
I think somebody teamed up with me on this question probably. So shout out to the question team.
yeah, shout out question team. Something I would want to highlight more besides like the voice is hmm. Um, I think a lot of it would be besides like the voice is like the health of the delegate. I'm not just like being like, oh, like why you sad, why you, but like you obviously signed up for YNG and you paid like a certain amount, so why not like get what you bought it for? Like why do you like you should be smiling and you should choose your program area that you wanted to the program area that you chose. Like you as I said, you barely go like you only go on two trips a year. So you have to make it worthwhile. You have to live every single moment like you actually do. So if you see like oh there's someone like going on their phone and but there's like someone else that's giving a speech like you I would want more people to care about YNG and I would want like and the first way of someone caring about YNG is like to be comfortable with like talking.
Thank you so much, Ashton, for coming on to the show today. We're so glad that we got
you
to hear about what you do inside of YNG, outside of YNG, and just like your experience overall.
just who you are as
Remember
a
everybody.
person.
Yeah, yeah. Remember everybody. You'll see the Birdman at Sacramento, and yeah, thank you so much for coming on. We loved having you.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be on this show.
Of course.
Of course, thank you for coming.
What's your name and delegation?
I'm Devin Jessiconis from the Anderson Munger Y.
Okay.
Amy,
Amy, yay! All right, can you give us an OOTD of your outfit?
Of course, of course. So I got this hat on.
Yeah.
The cowboy hat on. I got the flannel shirt
Okay,
on.
okay.
It's tucked in.
Okay,
It's
what
tucked in.
what inspired this flannel? I've never seen these colors.
I just think that cowboys just need to be like, oh hey Everett. They need to
Hello, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi. All right, you can join in next. Hold on. Go ahead.
They just need to have like, flannel. I don't know.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah. I
yes.
just think it fits them,
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Next, got the belt. It's looking like, I think brown is like a cowboy color,
Very,
like on the
very.
range.
Yes.
Got some jeans.
Yes.
Closest thing, it's good material.
We're cowboys.
Yeah, we're cowboys out here. And then just keeping the sneakers, at SAC they let you wear comfortable sneakers, so I'm just keeping comfortable sneakers here too in my cowboy fit.
Amazing.
Oh, I also got the bandana on from Smokey the Bear.
Amazing.
Yeah. Protects the wilderness. No wildfires, please.
Amazing.
And there we go.
Do you want to join in? You look like you were excited.
Oh yeah.
All right.
My bunkmate right here, Everett.
Bunkmates!
He wanted to also like dress up for his girlfriend, so.
Oh la la!
No. I didn't bring anything, which was the issue.
That's fine.
So I
His girlfriend. Oh la la la
issue. That was the issue though. So I had. She's not my girlfriend, but she's dressing up.
Wait, stay there.
So I found the nicest shirt I had and
Beautiful.
these jeans that I was already wearing today, and then
Amazing.
I borrowed a brown belt, like a leather belt from our
Compromising.
advisor.
Oh, advice! Shout out to your advisor.
Yeah, shout out to Joelle.
Oh.
Let's go, Joelle.
Alright.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I had these Nike SBs already.
Of course.
They're-
Ready?
they're-
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Yeah!